introduced, I think Ambassador Barnet was in at the early start of this process. The World Bank and governments were measuring development by GDP per capita. So you could rank the countries, the richest at the top and the poorest at the bottom by GDP per capita. It's evident that this is not a measure of how far countries have come in terms of providing decent living conditions for their people. So a lot of thinkers who've won Nobel Prizes in economics and so on have been thinking about this. How can you find a better measure so that countries can compare themselves to other countries, but they can also see are they developing, are they improving over time? And that has turned out to be a very, very effective tool for policy discussions and for moving governments to change things, to have these comparisons. Basically, they said, what is development really? It's about enabling people to enjoy long, healthy, productive lives. And what does it take? It's about access to information and knowledge. So it's about education. It's about health. And it's about resources, it's about economics. I don't want to go into too many details, but basically they came up with a human development index that is a combination of these three indicators that measure these three. And each year, the first thing the governments look sort of, where are we now compared to our neighboring countries? Are we doing better or worse? And in Romania, are we compared to Bulgaria and Hungary and the European Union average and so on? And this is important and so on. But it's also important to go deeper. And this year's report focused on how do countries deal with migration. And anywhere in Europe, this is a big topic because there's a lot of topics about even these foreigners who come, and there are issues of how do we treat them. There are issues of resurgence of intolerance, discrimination, and so on. Basically, I think this report is very interesting. I invite you all to study it. There's good migration, there's bad migration. There's migration that is good for the countries that receive migrants, and there the message is really quite simple. The popular thinking is people come to take our jobs, they come to take our social benefits, and so on. It's the opposite that is true, based at the macroeconomic scale. Migrants contribute to higher economic growth and development. I think that one of the best cases is UK and Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic. And it's tremendous what the infusion, the openness to migration has done to also boost the economies there. You can basically not make a case that migration is bad for the economy. But it needs to be managed, of course, and it needs to be managed in ways that respect the rights of migrants. Basically, if you think through history, European history, it's built by migration. Sometimes it came in the guise of invaders and military invasions and bloodshed and wars and so on. Romania is a country that is now composed of so many different ethnicities and cultures that I think everybody will agree that they have enriched Romania, and each invader, each migrant has brought something of his or her own. But it is something that needs to be managed, needs to be thought through, so that the people who migrate can do so in dignity, with respect for their rights and so on. We also need to think of the gaps that are left behind when people leave. In Romania there's a particular issue, and I want to highlight it, of people who migrate to improve their economic well-being. Perhaps they migrate with the idea to come back and build a decent house. And that is happening. A lot of people, Romanians, go to work in the construction sector, but they really want to come back with money and the wherewithal to build a better house for their families. But many of them leave them and leave their kids behind in the care of family or pay some people, and that is a big issue with these. They are not real orphans because their parents are around, and it's in fact a psychological trauma to know that their parents have left them. Of course, the parents are probably doing what as best they can, and do the best they can. But it really needs some attention. This issue of, and UNICEF has done a study on the human cost, long-term cost of traumatization of children behind. And that will improve their opportunities, also improve their own livelihood, provide education for their children and themselves. So decent housing is such an adequate, I mean, for I think all of us here who have decent housing, it's such an evident thing, but for many people, and I think frankly your figures of 150,000 are on the low side in Romania.
Yeah, we want it to be modest, if not to exaggerate.
But I do think that certainly a lot more needs to be done, and you mentioned it yourself. It is all about partnership. But certainly also, I think you're doing wonderful work. Partnership where you can also be an agent and interact and do things with the local government, which you are doing, but with government money, with EU structural funds, would be extremely important. We already started discussing about some how we could team up. We've had collaboration with UNICEF on flood victims.
Exactly, that's one.
So I think you're doing a wonderful job in Romania.
Thank you very much.
Congratulate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.